today we are walking up to Andrew Jackson's Hermitage, right up there.
Yep, the home of Andrew Jackson. Hey, we just watched this about a 17-minute movie. We got Detective Moxie here with us. What do you think?
Pretty cool.
Hey, right now we're walking down a nice shady path, so it's not as hot. What do you think of it so far?
Pretty good.
Now, we've been to President Polk's, one of his homes, the only home that he has left standing. It was a lot smaller than this, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So this is more of a mansion style house here. You hear the crunching as we walk. All right. Of course, we got a lot of trees here, but I think you can see pretty well. All right, we're about to go in and see what we can see. Don't know if we can film or not, but.
Yep. So for now, it's going to be Detective GBB going out.
We're going to get started in a few minutes, but if you have any questions while we're waiting to get started, just let me know, as long as we're not spoiling any information.
Alright guys, we actually figured out that we couldn't figure out that we couldn't film in the Hermitage. But now we have finished the tour, and now we get to free roam a couple of the other buildings here.
Yep, we are standing outside. First off, look at that huge tree there. We're gonna take a tour of the gardens and the kitchen. This is the smokehouse. They said that I don't know how well you'll be able to see, but they said that their primary diet here was pork. Thousands upon thousands of pounds of it. Smoked all the time for the family, for guests, for the enslaved. This is the back side of the house. We will be walking out to see some of the slave quarters, the garden, the grave sites. This is the kitchen. And another look at the backyard, and while we wait to get a glimpse of the dining room.
When the mansion was rebuilt after the fire in 1834, Andrew Jackson changed the kitchen constructed as a detached building. This reduced the risk of fire and kept the heat of cooking out of the main house. The cook prepared everything with fireplace. It was roasted on spits, boiled in kettles, or baked in Dutch ovens over coals on the hearth. The track over you see under the table leads to small pit cellars where root vegetables can be stored close
Here's
to
the
heat.
diner.
During the years of Jackson's retirement, the head cook was Betty. Slave whose mother had earlier been the cook. In all, about 10 slaves regularly served the household, including kitchen, dining managers, cleaning maids, and laundresses, all under the direction of Hannah. Although the majority of Jackson's slaves worked with crops and livestock, a sizable number had.
So this is the backside view where we just came from the kitchen, and this is some of the slave quarters. You can see some off in the distance. This was the quarters of a man named Alfred who took the last name Jackson. And he basically, even after becoming freed, decided to stay here and had worked out a deal to have his funeral here, and essentially became the Hermitage's first tour guide. This is Alfred's cabin.
Yes, please. Please.
Oh, his dried. Hold on, sorry.
Yeah, I was just holding.
And this is what it looks like inside.
Oh, Alfred wasn't very tall.
Yeah.
He looked it in his picture though.
Mm-hmm. Wonder if that's his actual cane. It looks like we got a horse and buggy tour coming through the grounds here. Pretty cool, huh?
That's pretty cool. Horsey.
Horsey.
Yeah, let's follow the horses.
Yes.
All right, we're walking up to what they call the cabin by the spring. I think this might be the original home built here on the property, I think.
While the mansion was being built.
Right.
They lived in here for 17 years.
Okay. Wonder if they host.
They do. It says it's closed for a private function.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I guess you can host events here. All right, now we're gonna go and try and find the garden. That looks like some of the crops. So actually, we had it wrong. These two buildings are technically the first Hermitage that was lived in for 17 years by Mr. and Miss Jackson while the mansion was being built. It's pretty small
Yeah.
for what you think it would be. What we got here? All right. Looked like they had dug some of that up, some of those dishes. It's a little upstairs. It's hot in here.
Yeah, buddy.
Okay, we got something very special for you guys that Michael insisted on filming.
Yeah.
All right, we're trying to head back to the garden in the main house, but what we got here?
Some horse doo-doo.
Oh man. Check it out. Those horses you saw earlier. Leaving a trail. Horse
Yeah.
pucky. All right, we're heading into the garden. Yeah, didn't they say that his wife was buried out here because this was her favorite spot?
Yep.
His wife Rachel had died right before I believe he could take office, so she never got to officially serve as our first lady. Oh yeah. Yeah, looks like the cemetery's over this way. Nice stroll through the garden. Yeah, it definitely cooled down right through here. You enjoying that breeze back there?
The heat index is currently 100.
Wonderful.
Say not right here in the shade, it's not.
No, it's not.
So we've made it to the cemetery part of the garden here. Here is Mr. Alfred's final resting place. They said they've got him at 98 years old, but they weren't for sure that was his actual age or not. But he had struck a deal to be buried here. So this is their adopted son, who was Rachel's nephew, I believe, that had also lived here and took care of the place. Colonel Andrew Jackson, who was born here at the Hermitage. died in what appears to be 1908. And there's Rachel Jackson Lawrence, who they had told us about, who had also lived here. And in the early days of the museum, actually led tours. She died in 1923, so she lived a long time. Yeah. And of course, the final resting spot of President Jackson and his wife Rachel are here. Of course, we can't go into this to read what's written there. But this will be their final resting spot. And what should be the final part of this tour. What you think? So I think we're at the final part of the tour.
Yeah, we're just gonna go back to the shop and grab a couple of stuff.
Yeah.
But this has been pretty cool.
So that's where President Jackson and his wife are laid. This just says General Andrew Jackson with his birth and death date. All right.
But for now, this is gonna be Detective GBB going out.